Hi, this is Lee, and in this short video I'm going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how we built Rusty and how you can build your own chatbots, at least give you enough information so you can get started. We used IBM Cloud and Watson to build our bot, and there are a number of different services available. We used a subset of those: speech-to-text, text-to-speech, services for connecting our app to other applications, and Watson Assistant for driving the actual bot's intelligence and the dialogue. I'm going to launch the actual assistant capability, and within this space there are a number of workspaces where you create your individual bot. You can see some different samples here that we looked at and played around with, but let's go and dig into Rusty. Within a bot or within a Watson Assistant or conversation, there's typically three main areas that we look at: intents, entities, and dialogue. And as a matter of fact, most of the focus is on the intents and dialogue for what we did. An intent is all focused on what is your user trying to do? What is their intent? What types of questions? How do they look to engage with your bot? You can see within Rusty we have 57 intents, and I'll open one up here looking at a discussion or the idea that our users would want to know about: are all virtual private assistants or bots good? Are there any bad ones? Should I trust them? And you can see within here we actually put example type of questions to train Watson about what to look for when people want to talk about this topic. And so in this case there are 14 different examples, and we can add to it, and Watson learns over time and uses this model to guide the discussion. And again, I'll scroll down here and you can see lots of different types of intents that we're anticipating. Within the dialogue then, we have a broader model rather than a deeper model. You can get very programmatic here. We're a little more basic at the moment. But you can see, everything from conversation start to explaining different types of aspects, casual conversation, dealing with negative comments or positive, or even explaining how Rusty works. I've opened up one of the dialogue entries, and you can see here, if the bot recognizes how do you work, a specific intent, then we have a response. And in this case we actually go a little bit deeper, and if someone sees the idea that Watson was on Jeopardy, they may want to ask, well, what was it like? How did you feel about it? And so we've connected and provided a deeper response and a little more natural dialogue here. This is all server-side, highly API-enabled capabilities. A large, rich ecosystem supports this. And an interesting thing here, and I've hovered over, is the idea that you can deploy. And you've seen in our week that we've connected Rusty to a number of different user interfaces. One being Slack, and another one you can do is you can connect it to an app. Could be a desktop app, but we've also connected it to Android, and we also looked at iOS. And as a bit of a shortcut, we've leveraged some of the capabilities from GitHub. There are a number of samples that IBM Cloud provides, including a simple chatbot where the UI is provided by Android. And this provides, here in their tutorial, a nice overview of how the services come together: speech to text, the Watson Assistant, text to speech, and how it's connecting to your mobile device. And again, that could have been a web browser or Slack. And you can see here we've leveraged the UI that they built, the app that they built, and at the end of the day we just needed to customize a few properties to point it to our instance of Rusty, changing the name of the app, etc., recompiling it, and then you may have noticed we deployed it using the Hockey app. There is also an iOS instance that can be used as well. We just ran out of time. There was a little debugging that needed to be done, but again, all the source code is here on GitHub, just like with the Android app, and actually the simplest integration was with Slack. With that said, I'm going to keep the video short here. This gives a good introduction overview of how we pulled this together. Everything was pretty simple, lots of open source, lots of tutorials, everything was free, and whether you're looking to build your own app or do it with your class, it's a great way to see that it's not just magic. It's easy to get your hands dirty and start to experiment. So good luck with Watson and building your own bot.